Hey teachers, you've been super innovative over the past week, and I've had some questions of some people wanting to push a little bit further and wanting to write on their screens or annotate on top of a Google Slides. So there's nothing natively built in to our Google slide where we can kind of mark it up. So I want to show you an extension called Web Paint. So I've talked about it earlier this year. It's a great tool, tons of features in it. But I want to show you Web Paint in action right now in a Google Meet. So we're in a Google Meet right now. I'm going to start sharing my screen. We're working on word problems with our fourth graders. So I'm going to go up here into Google Meet, and I'm going to click this icon to remove the tile so I can see my screen again. And then I'm going to click the push pin button right here so you can see what I'm presenting to everyone. So I've pinned my presentation. I'm presenting my screen. I've now pinned that to my screen so I see what's going on for any student viewing my screen. So that's right here on the right side. On the left hand side over here is my actual Google slide deck. So I've already installed the Web Paint extension. That's simple. I'm not going to waste time there for you, but we're in Google Chrome, and I am currently presenting this Google slide deck to my students. And we get to the point, we've read it, we've talked about it, that now I need to mark it up, and let's show a little bit of the teacher working through it. So what label will your answer have? For this, I would just use a text box. And I've read it, and I know we're talking about snacks. What information do you have to help solve the problem? So here's where I might use Web Paint in here. So I'm going to click the Web Paint extension, and I'm going to use the ellipse tool right here. And it's just going to let's make it a red ellipse. And so the information I already have, I know that Jake has 26, I know that Cooper has 35, and I know that Cooper ate 42. So I know that the names are important, I know the numbers are important, and there we go, we have fruit snacks. So our label's important as well. What information do we need in order to solve the problems? We need to know how many were left for Jake. So I need to know how many we started with, how many Cooper ate, and then I need to know how many are left. So now my students and I, we're going to hop over to the solve portion here. How many fruit snacks did the boys have together? So this time I'm going to use the pen tool. So I'm going to head up here and click on my pencil, and let's change the color. Let's go back to a blue. I'm going to make it a little darker. Choose my pencil tool. And so I know that Jake, so now I'm using like the touch screen to draw. I know Jake started with 26. I'm taking my time to be as neat as possible. I'm a lefty, so that doesn't help. I know Cooper has 35, but practice makes this look better. So how many fruit snacks do we have all together? So that's the sum. So let's add those up. So we know all together they had 61 fruit snacks. So now how many fruit snacks were left after Cooper ate his? And we have our hint. We see that we need to find the difference, and I can underline that for my students. So I know the total number of snacks is 61. To find the difference means subtract, and I know Cooper ate 42, which doesn't seem fair. Cooper only contributed 35. So difference means subtract. So again, we have to borrow. So let's make sure we show our work. So we have 9. So the difference of 11 and 2. And 1 right here. So we have 19 left for Jake. So step 3, check your work. Is your answer reasonable? We know that 60 is really close to 61, and then we know if we round 42, it goes down to 40. So if we take the difference It's really quick in our head of 60 and 40. We know 20 would be the approximate rounding value there. So 19 is a reasonable answer. So this is WebPaint. Lots of great tools in there for you to use. So just know with WebPaint that this is just an overlay of the website. So if I quit right here and flip to the next slide, and then it's time for us to solve slide number 3, I turn WebPaint back on, it's going to give me that same overlay. So I need to make sure I go ahead and use the Erase All button here. So I would just close it out, go to the next slide, open up the control panel again, clear all, and then begin working again. So that's WebPaint. Really easy, really simple.